What in the name of Mortimer's mustache have I got going on here? Today we are beginning a new episode or maybe a new series in our upholstery series. Today I am working on reupholstering seats for a Caterpillar bulldozer. Stick around, this is going to be fun. I'm Mike and this is My Car Shop. So what we have here is a seat bottom, a seat back, and two armrests that go somewhere, I don't know, something like that, I think. Or is it? I don't know. Anyway, they go in there. I looked at it, but it's been a while. And these armrests tear his elbow up and tear his arm up, and they're in bad shape. And the back is getting to where it picks on your back, and the bottom's dry as a dry thing. So we're going to make new. What I'm going to do is take this, put it over there. I'm going to make new ones for this, so where these are going to be left alone. I am not going to tear these apart because the metal is shot. We're doing this simple. We're not trying to replicate what's factory. Yes, I could fabricate the metal pieces. That's not what he wants. So we're going to do this simple and easy. We're going to make new pieces for this out of 3/4 inch plywood right here. We are going to reupholster the seat back itself as is. And then we're going to also make a new seat bottom and not mess with that one because the springs in that are shot, and I've got a different way of making it that'll solve that forever. So, first thing we need to do, besides having allergies galore, is determine how we're going to make this. So I need to get a feel for what's real and come up with a pattern. So I've got two pieces here cut out or laid out, 13 and a half. Make sure these numbers are right. 13 and a half by 5 3/4. Yep. And then of course this would be the same thing. So we'll get those cut out, and then we've got to cut out another couple that are 7 1/8 by 4 3/4. So we'll be able to get those out of here. Probably the easiest way to do this is just to do the saber saw rather than the circular saw. Although I could use, I don't know. I'm going to use a saw as well. There we go. We have our core unit, same as this. I think the next thing to do is to get this all screwed together and see where we go from there. I think as far as referencing these, we're done. So we'll throw those over there for now out of the way. Not like we can't get them back if we need to. I just called my buddy Dave and just wanted to confirm that these were square on the Caterpillar and that there's no stuff in here because those had recesses. He says, no, they're perfectly square. And even if they sat out just a little bit, it wouldn't hurt anything. So we're going to get these screwed together. I got some somewhere. There they are. Some screws, some good 2 1/2s. I was going to go longer, but I think we'll just stick with the 2 1/2 inch screws. That'll put them in. Well, let's see. There's no pressure on this stuff, so yeah, 2 1/2s will be fine. That'll give them a good almost 2 inches of insertion. So we'll pre-drill this and get it in there. Just getting my holes where I want them. Probably going to use 4. Maybe 5. I'll put 1 in the middle. Better too much because too much is not enough. Perfect. All right, there we go on that one. This is the right side. This is the left side. So we're going to get out a grinder and grind the edges down a little bit, take all the burrs off, do some sanding and stuff like that. And then we'll work on getting some padding put on here to get some upholstery material over it. Got one done. Basically, I'm just taking this 24 grit disc. I'm going around on all the edges and rounding everything so we have no sharp corners, nothing that can possibly tear or cut the upholstery. So I got one done. We're going to do this one next. It's just
pretty simple stuff.
Helps if the air compressor's turned on. Could have swore I asked one of you guys to catch that when we came in. A lot of this you've seen me do in other episodes, but I'm just going to cut out some dense foam for these arm pads. I really need to get some more of this stuff. I'll have to call Chris and see if he can get some more. He gets it from where he works. They toss it out all the time. But it's the easiest way to cut this that I found. And I'm so short on how much I need that I have to be really careful. So that's enough to do that part there. Very good. Let's see if we can get enough out of that piece to do another one. Otherwise, we'll have to go on a hunt for some dense foam. But I think the way I cut this, I'm hoping it will work. I really wanted to do this in one piece. I don't want to do this in two pieces. But you can't always get what you want, right? So I think what I'll do, I got one little strip here. I don't have any more of this. All I have is this piece here, and that's going to be enough to do the sides. Unless there's another piece. Let me go look. I might have one piece squirreled away. Okay, I've gone a different way on the one that I was a little short on. We'll show you that in a minute. Here's where we're at right now. I got my top piece of foam cut for this one. Fits good. My side piece of foam cut for this also fits good. So then upholstery fabric we'll get to in a minute. So what I'm doing on this one is doing a piece like this, and then I'm going to cut another piece to go in here. I don't want to just do a small piece because it'll tip out, but if I do two pieces, that should work. And then we'll cut one more piece to go here like so. So that should get us done, and this will be easy to do because I'll just take these pieces and yeah, I'll just lay out what I need and get it cut. So anyway, so much to do. Uncle Dunkle. So here's what we got. Here's one for one side. Here's the one for the other side. There's our two side pieces that go here and here. And then this is this one. Boom. And this is this one. Boom. You almost get the idea that this isn't my first rodeo, don't you? So the next part is the fun part. I am going to take my spray tacky glue and just glue these pads down on here just to make my life a little easier. We probably won't need to worry about getting crazy on the edges. These edges are the ones we want to worry about being sharp. There's a sharp edge there, so I'm going to grind that a little more. We'll check them over one time. We just don't want any sharp edges where it's going to chafe the vinyl. The vinyl is right here. It's a dark chocolate brown vinyl material, outdoor rated. It was about $40, I think, for this piece of vinyl from the fabric store. So I wanted good quality stuff. I didn't want to go with something that didn't have any UV rating and stuff like that, even though his intention is not to leave this on. He's going to make it so that it's easily taken off when he's not using it and stored, because a lot of times the dozer's outside. So I'm going to get my spray glue and then we'll get these tagged on there and we'll go from there. So I just went through and wiped down all of this with Prep-Sol to just get it so that it's not got dust and dirt all over it. Spray some glue for Mr. Magoo, and you too. Okay. And let's do the 2-piece one first, or the 1-piece one first, or the 1-piece one second, or I wipe off the wrong side of that one. I did not. Okay, just got these backwards, that's all. Okay, there we go. And the only reason I'm doing this is just for ease of my own assembly. It just helps things not move around quite as much. Is it necessary? No. Hopefully that's enough. We'll know in just a minute. Because there's candles in the window and Carol's at the spinet. There we go. Yes, good. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be done. Okay, tack that up. We'll get them stuck together here in just a second. Oh, that slipped right off on me, didn't it? Means it wasn't tacky enough yet. It's getting there. Ended up going and respraying that one. It didn't stick good enough. That's fine. Again, it's really not going to accomplish anything once the fabric is on there, but it does make my life easier as I'm trying to put the upholstery on this. There we go. That one still isn't sticking with a pot liquor, is it? Okay, we're going to let those set up for a little bit. Shouldn't take long. I want to make sure they're in the right spot. Otherwise, we'll have issues, and I don't have tissues. Now I got to start thinking through how I'm going to cut the fabric for this. So I need to get this cleaned off anyway and get my fabric laid out and make some digestions or some decisions. This is the part that I hate the most, is making sure I don't screw up the fabric. I want to see if I'm close to center. I think we're okay, because I still have to have enough of this fabric to do the seat bottom and the seat back, and there should be enough there, but I promise you this always takes a lot more material than you think it's going to. I'm wondering if I shouldn't have bought 1.5 yards, but I bought what I bought, so we can always go back and get more. It's just a 2-hour trip, that's all. So I'm going to get my tapeworm and check this, but I'm going to show you first how I go through and what I do. So let's bring you over. That should have it so you can see what I'm doing. So I want to make sure I have a good 1/2 inch or more overlap on this edge, which I do. Then I need to bring this up and make sure I have a good 1/2 inch or more of overlap. I need to come this way and make sure I have a good overlap. We obviously know we're going to have enough there. And then we also want to come up this way with the material and make sure we have a good overlap. And we need to take the material here, it's this inner mark, and make sure we have enough overlap. So I think I'm good to cut that out, but I want to make sure that this piece here doesn't take more than half, just to be sure that I have enough material over here to replicate this for the second one. So let's, by eye, I would say we're okay, but I want to be doing more than by eye. So I just measured this out. This is 40 inches because that's what I asked her to cut for me, was 40 inches. This is at 18.5, so I have more than enough. So I'll probably cut just a little generous between the line here. Let's come up Let's do 19 inches, and we'll do 19 inches up here. So I'll need to make my little mark. I'm a little short of 19, but I'd rather that. I think we're done with this. Let's get it out of our way, and let's see what we did this way. $19, good. So we can go 19 here. So it's pretty much a square piece that we're doing here. And I know a real upholstery guy would look at this and go, what in the heck are you doing? You need to cut that, and you need to sew it, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. And that's not what we're doing. We're doing it what a normal guy at home in his garage can do without a sewing machine. So I'm going to these lines up, and we'll get this nipped out. All right. Inside corner was a bugger. Not this one. That one was a little bit. This compound inside corner here was a real bugger. I think we're okay. A little less material in here than I really wanted, but I think we'll be all right. But that's where, you know, having it cut and sewn would have been nicer because it's not as tight. I got to remember it's a bulldozer. So as long as this material doesn't tear, and I don't think it's going to, I've got it really well attached in here, and I may even attach it a little bit better. And I got it really well attached in here. There's little chance it's going to tear there. So I just wished I had left a little bit more, like a little 1/4 inch more material down in here to pull. So I'll do that on the other side. It's unfortunate that I couldn't get this, but this material is so stretchy, much more stretchy than other vinyl I've worked with. Works to an advantage to some degree, but you know, on the other hand, it can be kind of a pain. But let's compare. Let's see what it looks like in comparison to. I think it's a significant improvement, don't you? And if this does give problems, of course I'll take care of it for him. He's, you know, he's a friend. So, but yeah, not too bad. I've never done an inside corner like this before without sewing, and I wanted to try to do that. And you know, we learn what we learn, and that's what we learn. So I don't know if this material probably isn't going to shrink if we put some heat on it. That would be cool if it did, but I think what I would have done differently, I won't do the other side differently, but I think what I would have done differently is wrap this one straight up like this, and I would have changed the way I lipped. Yeah, I would have changed the way I lipped this. That's also, I had more material in here. But maybe I can change it on the other one. We're going to end up with a little bunchosis, but the way this sits on the tractor, that's not going to bother a thing at all. So as you can, in fact, you can see this one kind of had it anyway. So, all right, that's it for today. It's not it for this episode. I'm going to get the other one of these done, I think. But my fingers are absolutely killing me, and I need to just take a break. I've got supper to make and all kinds of other things to do. So we'll be back probably tomorrow. And we'll get after that, and then maybe we'll get that seat back done also. We'll see. Maybe we'll do that in 2 episodes. I don't know. There we go. Second one's done. A little more of a bunch up in here than I care for. This is an arm top. I don't think that's going to be a problem. This sits on the tractor. This is the right side, and that's the left side. This is the one we just did. These inside corners are a real challenge. Probably a way to do this, if I was going to do it again, would be I would attach it in here and then put a trim strip over this of some kind. But you're supposed to do a Y cut in here, which is fine if you're going to have a piece of trim over it, or if it's not such thick padding. But with the padding and everything, it really makes it a challenge. But so if it's going to fail, my prediction is it'll be in this area because we just don't have a lot of material. But without cutting and sewing or going the other way, that's what we do. So the corners went pretty good. You know, some of them got a little bit of pleating. Oh, and I wanted to mention that pleating, it's not a matter of if you get pleats, it's a matter of where, and you're always trying to put your pleats under the edge. And of course, the thicker the padding is, the harder it is to eliminate the pleats. I did end up with some pleating in here. I didn't intend, but I also on that one. It's because of pulling everything, trying to get that corner tight. Inside corners are really a pain. If somebody has a trick, can point me to a YouTube video on how to do that without leaving a patch of material exposed like you get in the Y-cut style. I would love to see it, but I really think that because you can't stretch material into something like that as much. I mean, you can see I was really pulling, trying to get that material back. But overall, it's pretty good. So let's pull the back of the seat apart now and see what we're dealing with there. So what we got to do here is pull these screws out and see exactly what this attaches to down inside to see our ability to put our material on. My biggest concern with this having an arch this way and not sewing the material, because we're not going to, is we're going to end up with a big pocket of material in here. However, I think the way we can do it is if we start in the middle and pull it tight and just loosen it a little bit as we go, tighter material in the middle, looser out here, it should follow that contour. What we don't want to do is pull it this way because then it will gaposis in the middle. So I think it's a matter of stretching our material into that circle that way rather than trying to stretch it across this way. So anyway, let's pull it apart, see what we got. So here's where we're at with this all being rotted out and me not having the tractor, the dozer here to look at. I can't engineer anything until I have. I wish the dozer was actually here because I could just go out but it's 30 miles from here. So what I need to do is make a determination. I got some ideas. I got a couple of really good ideas on what we might be able to do to make this work. I may be able to use some thin ply and make a back. I may be able to use this tin. The problem I also have is attaching the material to this tin back. So what I really want to do is go see on the dozer exactly how it attaches to the dozer. If it's a flat area with some stanchions that come out, that we could just make a flatter back with thicker foam. I don't want to push him too far forward. I got ideas. I got lots of ideas, but I need to see the device. So I'm going to put this episode as a stop with the armrests being completed. And the next thing you'll see on this will be going to see the dozer, making some determinations, and then coming back here. My goal is to have all of this done before Sunday. Today's Wednesday. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off, but he needs to use this on Monday. So one way or another, he has to have all this stuff back. All right, that'll do it for this one. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're being challenged by this upholstery series. I hope it's showing you some things, giving you some different ideas. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for completion. This is mostly about function because of scratching up his arms when he's trying to use the equipment, being uncomfortable to sit on, this scratching at his back all the time, plus oodles of rust falling out. It's going to be a vast improvement. I know we can make something work. So if you're curious to see the rest of it, don't go away. Catch you on the next one.